Hello. My Wacom tablet might not be working. We'll find out in just a bit. I have been gone for about a week. It's going to be a quick painting. I don't have too much time. My family are out swimming right now, and I thought I'd spend some time catching up with y'all. Because I've taken like several days off, I think, from YouTube specifically. Honestly, like work too. I wasn't working much. I did one or two gigs I was working on, but some other stuff I just kind of hit pause. So today is going to be a bit of a workhorse day as well as tomorrow, but it is tis be what it tis be, and I'm relatively happy with the trip. It was a trip to go see a lot of my close friends. I think many of you guys who follow the channel are quite aware of certain tragedies that were going on. Um, One of which my close friend passed away. Another one where another close friend, his brother, passed away in an unfortunate accident. And then another less tragic in terms of death, but close friend of mine lost his house in LA fires. That was probably the most lighthearted, most chill one, just because my buddy, like, although he thinks financially it's going to be a bit of a headache they're going to have to deal with years down the line, he's not thinking about it too much now. He's just trying to save as much cash as humanly possible to make sure that they're not effed by their mortgages and their lack of fire loan or fire insurance. I mean, no fault on their end. It's just how it be with insurance companies. Um, yeah, he was feeling cool because he said like their new life living in like an apartment and stuff was actually not too bad. And it was kind of freeing in a lot of ways. Obviously, under the circumstances, they had no choice, but it was cool. It's cool to see that. In terms of my buddy who passed away, saw his wife. She shared with us some great stories, and there was a couple other guys there that told us really fun stories. And then we also had a sketch group for him in memory of him, and that was really nice to see friends of mine. Um, One of which is having a baby, which is super cool. Actually, two of my friends that I visited this week were having babies, and that's super cool. So there's some positive stuff. Like also, one of my buddies had a concert, and that was so much fun. Got to see my oldest son because he lives out in California. So there was some good stuff. Obviously, just hanging out with people in general. And then my friend who has lost their brother. I mean, that's open and closed tragic. There's nothing I could say that would be deep or profound here. It is what it is. Guy passed away way too young. That's all there is to it. You know, and so yeah, I was gone, and I said this in a couple of videos that I don't feel obligated to make videos, and I like to do them because it's really fun and exciting to do, and it's also therapeutic, like I mentioned a couple of videos ago. But I honestly am just chilling. I'm not really worried about it too much, um, and so it's good to be back. I'm going to do this quick video. Like I said, I don't really want to spend too much time because I do have a lot of work to catch up to. Getting back into the swing of things, so it just takes some time. Very excited. My June class starts this week, tomorrow evening, in fact. So I'm excited to get in front of some students and talk to them. Took about a month off teaching, and that's kind of my cadence. I'm taking about a month off between each class because it just allows me to catch up on work. And also sometimes I move classes. Sometimes I extend like, hey, I need next week off because of this. That just happens like all the time, and it's just nice to be able to do that because I have a buffer. I'm not like chasing the next class right after. So it happens often, but it's usually nice. Also, the students tend to like it because they're like, oh, now I got a little bit more time to work on some of the stuff. You know. But anyway, I thought I'd jump back into the swing of things. Couple things that, what also was going on just in my life. I've gotten a really great opportunity recently, and so I'm very excited to get started on that. And um, and I'm also working on something that's really cool. I'm so excited to see how that turns out. But generally speaking, I've just been kind of keeping my head uh, up high and just working and pushing through, making art up in this bad boy. Uh, yeah, I was thinking about throwing this into color, but I think what I'll do is I'll stay in values for a little bit, and then I'll just use a gradient map, and then go from there. Yeah, I didn't do much art either, other than what I did in the sketch group and for work. So it feels good to kind of just paint for myself again. Man, let me scooch back. Yeah, I'm not sure how you guys have been handling without my videos coming. I know I was really hitting a stride there. And I should be hitting the 100-day mark of me really doing these videos. Obviously, it won't be in a streak. And honestly, I was never expecting to do that either. I thought that might be cool, but I don't think I was ever going to hit that just with how crazy my life be. Um, and it was really cool. It was really cool when I was talking with some of the people, especially the wife of my friend who passed away, my friend Rob. I was talking with her because we were chatting about how we're processing stuff, and I think this was just brought up how I've been really doing these YouTube videos as almost my way of grieving for his loss. And I think the way we brought this up actually was, again, it was more organic. It was just like what Rob and I used to love. And one thing we loved was just sharing knowledge and help each other and grow. And Rob was one of those people, literally on his dying bed, was essentially like, trying to draw, and was probably more sad about his inability to draw, you know, his lack of um, cognitive ability, that probably made him the most upset about his sickness, about his cancer. And for me, it was really, you know, eye opening when he passed, that I just need to get back to that, sharing knowledge, being part of the community in a meaningful way. I just saw that Lightbox release my video about art is easy, life is hard, and it's doing really well. Lots of people are responding very well to it. Some of you guys have actually heard me talk about this just in my YouTube video in general, videos, but that one was more catered personal experience. And I think a ton of people just assume that things are going smoothly for someone like myself, that there aren't things in my life that worry me. That's just absolutely not true. Even to this day, there are many things that bother me and stress me out. It's just not obvious. And what I always encourage is to try to help each other. And when I saw my buddy Jason Hill post a video about, like, being a game artist, and it was really optimistic, I was like, yeah, there you go. And I think Jay Hill is also one of those few YouTubers who stays positive, like tries not to focus on any kind of negative content or try to like stir drama, because drama is great and it's good to catch bad faith actors and what have you. But it ultimately, if that's all the content that's mainly consumed, it's usually unhealthy for the person who creates that content, and it also is just not healthy for the larger community as a whole, because there is a lot more going on. One thing that I think Jason said too, that was in that video, that I really liked, was that this is just a moment in time in industry, and yet people are treating it like this is the norm. When the opposite is true, the norm is that the gaming industry is still continuously growing and of great market value. And it's just going to be different looking, right? It's going to be smaller teams, more scrappier, types of vibes. And so to me, yeah, I'm not too stressed about it, especially since I've gotten more opportunities in the last several months than I have in the last several years, like back to back, it feels like. And so, yeah, I'm convinced that people should just need to focus on trying to get good, building great portfolios. And going back to the Rob thing is, Rob really did that for me. He really hammered home to me the value of being good as an artist and always trying to learn, always trying to make art. And I'm with him, man. I'm with him on that. And it's beautiful. And seeing my friends do their band stuff, and they're like, look, this is just a hobby. We're not trying to make money from this anymore. There was a dream in the past of like trying to become musicians, but now it's like, but we make music because we fucking love making music. We're not trying to always make money from it. And it made me think, yeah, maybe I should get my guitar skills back in order and start making songs again. I love making songs. I love making riffs. I used to do it a lot when I was much younger. And I met up with a buddy of mine who also loved it. And again, when I met up with all my friends who were musicians, like I built that community with them, right? We worked together to build the music scene in Barstow. And it's cool. I'm proud of to see that they're keeping it alive. And it made me think like maybe I should try to keep that shit alive still too on my end. Like I should contribute. And so, yeah, man, I am building a sketch group out here in Florida. It's gonna be great. I can already tell it's gonna grow and grow. I just like just left a meetup group. I made it and just left it online, and it's already getting new members. I think it's got up to like 15 or 16 members. And if that is true, if we can get even half of those people, like 8 people to 10 people to show up to a sketch group, that's a successful sketch group. You know, that's a successful group of people hanging out, talking about art, video games, life, you know? And I'm genuinely excited for that. So we'll see how things go in that realm in the next month or two, but I'm already very, very, very excited for this. But yeah, I think this is where I'm gonna call it quits on this image. Um, I do appreciate you guys sticking with these videos. My numbers are still going up, which is really awesome, which tells me, oh, what the heck? Why did my phone do that? I never heard that ring in my life. The heck was that? What? It's like a Nintendo Switch alert. My son's not even here. The heck? All right, whatever. And his Switch is right here. The hell? Nintendo, dude, you spying on my son? Um, but yeah, building the community is so important. So I'm really excited for that. But yeah, trying to get back to making YouTube videos again. Uh, Again, like I said, the numbers are growing. It demonstrates to me that people genuinely love this type of content. I actually have had the suspicion that authentic content is going to do wonders in the industry in the next 5 to 6 years as the horizon of AI slop starts to populate the interwebs. I've heard cases made about how some of these internet YouTube channels or whatever, Instagram reels are doing really well, have really high numbers that are AI, but that is again short form content and again potentially just trendy. And also on top of that, there's always been quote unquote lo-fi entertainment content that has just been on the internet always and forever, that has always done relatively well in some capacity. You look at stuff like how Coco Melon kind of grew in prominence and then Baby Shark and stuff like this for children. Like, I don't doubt that there's going to be, some subset of AI pop culture that just does really well, but not in the holistic end of things, because even if it gets 11 million views, it doesn't mean 11 million views of people that were heavily engaged, granted, capable of wanting to spend money on seeing something like that come to life. It's one thing to watch it just when you're scrolling through. It's another thing to want to actually consume it. And I think there's a true disconnect there from some of these industries that don't realize that generally most people do not like this type of stuff, you know? Um, and I think you guys, we got to stay strong and build the content that people do actually enjoy it because it will be sought after and we need to be there ready to provide it. you know? And so, anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to do some work in a minute here. This has turned out to be a little cool little robot person, or maybe some sort of suited lady bot. I was thinking about putting a rim light on here, but I feel like that might be too much work. But now that I just put those lines, I'm trying to think, like, I want to do stylistically. I don't really want to just do kind of a classic form building. I kind of like that, actually. That looks pretty cool to me. Yeah, I'm into that. Wait, what? I just noticed something. It's getting darker as I zoom out. My monitor has some auto adjusting thing. You guys might not have saw it at all, but I saw it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fix that. Don't you ever adjust my values. Anyway, all right, I'm out of here. Talk to you guys in my next video.